everyone, it's again Susie with you, and today I'm very proud to introduce you my final project in the computer science, Introduction to Computer Science class. This project is a group project, so together with four other members of the group, we made a website in which we put two games, a quiz, and other media files about my city, Gyumri. And all five of us are from the same city, and we decided it would be a good idea to do something dedicated to our city and its history and its culture. So we decided to do this website, and my part was to make the quiz. So this is how the quiz looks like. So it starts out this way, and then you have to start the quiz. Then you have to check the answers, and when you check an answer, you do get answer. And then you get the description, like information about the correct answer and a little more details about the topic of the question. And then you do that for every time until you get to the last question, and there are 10 questions overall. So this is how it goes. And in the end, after the 10 questions info, you do submit, and then it gives you the result. So and I will talk about how the result works, and then if you want to retry the quiz, you do retry, and it reloads the page and you start the quiz again. So that is the quiz, and this is how it works. So I have these four files: the HTML file, CSS file, the JavaScript file, and the jQuery.js file. So starting from HTML, I have this the CSS and the two JS files linked to the HTML, and then in HTML body I have divs which contain the buttons I used in my code in JavaScript, and each of the buttons have this onClick function. So when you press each of the buttons, it calls a function and it works. The CSS I use to style my page and the buttons and everything, to choose their locations on the page, their sizes, the colors, etc. So now this is the actual code. So for the beginning, I have this initial function, which is called init. So this is the initial screen setter, and it has all the things that it has to do, like these are written in jQuery, using jQuery. So I decide what buttons to hide and what buttons to show, and also display this little greeting message on the screen, this one. Then I have this next function is the start quiz function. So as you saw, I have this questions array which contains 10 objects. Each of those contains 4 keys with values. The keys are the questions, the choices, the correct answer, and the info. Choices itself is an array containing 4 choices, and you'll see how I work with them in this, like for example in this function. The start quiz function links to the start the quiz button has this empty array, and it picks the first question from the questions array, so the object with the 0 index, and like loops over the choices of that object, and it puts the choices on the screen by radio buttons. That's why I have this label input type radio thing here, and then I push it to like display on the screen by like dot and inner HTML function. Then the next function is to loop over the questions array and change the question every time the next button is clicked, so it is linked to the with onClick to the next button. This function is called the change question function, and then this is how it works. So I have this global variable let, which is named quest index, which is equal to 0. So every time the next button is clicked, this quest index will increase by 1, and depending on which question, like it loops over the I, and when the I gets equal to the question index, this quest index variable, from the questions array, it takes the um, object with the I index, and then it displays the question, and then it loops over the choices in that object, and it displays the choices. Again, by the qbox.innerhtml. So the qbox I got by like get element by ID, and I have the ID quizbox given to my div. So that is how I push, like display the things from JS to the actual screen through HTML. And then I have this next function, which is called the get current answer, and this is to loop over the and then I have this get current answer function, which is to loop over the again the I, checking if it's equal to the quest index, and if it is, on click on the get the answer button, the the code shows displays on the screen, pushes to the content queue box of the queue box the info content, which is in this case the value of the info key in each of the questions array objects, and it displays the information about the question and the right answer on the screen. Then again, I played with the um, buttons with jQuery to hide them or to show them. And then this next function is the check answers function, which keeps tracks of the score, is to compare the checked answer with the correct answer and manage the score. So this function works again with jQuery. So as you saw this, for each of the choices, I have this like type radio name choice. I have a value for it, and I have this on change check answers part. So every time the radio button is clicked, the check answers function checks it. So if the input, so the radio button that is checked has the name choice, and its value is equal to the correct answer value, like the value of the key correct answer from the from the objects of the questions array, it is checked the correct answer. The player has checked the correct answer. The score increases by 1, and it keeps doing that for every question, because on every question the radio buttons, every time you hit the radio button, it checks it. So if it's true, if it's right, um, the score is increased by 1. If it's not, it stays as it is. And it only works like when you like go to the next question. So if you if you choose the wrong answer and then you change your mind and choose the right answer, it will count your score. Then the other function is the submit function. This is the function that manages the score. Like it doesn't manage it, like gets the result according to the score. So it checks the score, and for every particular case, it gives you this little message about the percentage of your cumulative genes, let's say. And in the end, we have this retry button, and with the retry function that is set like on click on the retry button, it reloads the page and starts the quiz again with hiding the retry button. So this is how it works, and I think and I hope that many people will come and try to take this quiz to find out if they are if they have this game Resi genes in them. So I am very excited to present it during the expo, and I am very proud to say that our team has done this great job doing the website, and the other two games are also very nicely done. So yeah, I'll be waiting to show you guys all during the expo, and bye.